Hi there. So, I want to talk a little bit about the sorry state of the UK advisor technology landscape. We know that the flow of data between all the various systems that advisors use is grossly inefficient. Much of the data sitting with platforms and providers is needed within retirement and financial planning software. You need that same data, in your CRM and back office system. You might need the data for your report writing and indeed for client reporting. And the integration between all these systems leaves much to be desired. And I personally believe that one of the reasons for the high cost of advice and or low profitability of advice firms is rooted in this problem. And so the sooner we fix this, the better for everyone. The question is, what are we going to do about it? Well, I can tell you what we're doing about it. So a timeline, we're building our integration microservice, which allows timeline app users to pull data from CRM and back office system, from platforms, and indeed we started testing our open banking integrations this very week. And so the idea is that with that single endpoint, users of timeline will be able to pull data from their systems, from the other systems that they use. But we've built this as a microservice, which means that we can actually lend that same endpoint to other technology and startups coming behind us. So we're not only fixing the problem for ourselves, we're helping to fix that problem for others as well. But I've maintained that one of the reasons we're where we are today is that for so long advisors have tolerated poor technology from providers, and until we get to a point where advisors start to vote with their client assets, I don't believe that we will see a meaningful change in this space. So advisors have to become more scathing, less tolerant of poor technology from providers. As far as I'm concerned, there is absolutely no point in tolerating poor technology from platforms and providers just in the name of being nice. It just doesn't help anyone. And I hear a lot of excuses being made for platforms and providers. I hear things along the lines of, providers technology is built on very old code bases, on very buggy infrastructure that were designed donkeys years ago. Well, I don't care. I don't give a monkeys. It doesn't matter, because if you think about banking, for instance, it's a much bigger industry, much older industry than investment and pensions. And if banking could be pulled kicking and screaming against its own will into the 21st century and be forced to implement open banking, I don't see why we should make any excuses for investment and pension providers. The other problem, the other thing I see is an attempt in certain corners to solve this sorry state of affairs using the same level of thinking that created them in the first place. Over the weekend, there was a conversation on Twitter started by my friend and financial planner Tom Orchard, and one of the ideas being put forward is this idea that you could send the good old letter of authority to the client electronically. The client download this form, append their wet signature to this. I know it's absurd. They append their wet signature to this thing, and then they upload it back, and then it goes off to the provider. And hopefully, if the provider's happy with his signature, maybe in a matter of days, they will send evaluation back to the advisor. This is the exact problem, the exact thinking that created this problem in the first place. It's really bad thinking. Why do I say that? Well, in virtually every other domain, in retail, in travel, and indeed in banking, people, consumers do not expect, their experience currently right now is in that they will download stuff, append signature, upload it back, and I believe that advisor technology at the very least should be built into the current customer experience in other domains, and ideally we want to be building for the future. We want to be skating where the puck is going, not wasting huge amount of time and resources dragging everybody back into the dark ages. And so whoever comes up with this nonsensical idea just needs to stop. It's really it's a really bad idea. And the thing is, we've seen in other countries how open finance ideas, the idea that every finance provider should really have an open API for other people to connect to. It's been around. It's been, advisors in the US have been able, to gain authorization from their client or get access to their client data using open finance technology. And that happened, actually, by the way, without legislation. Not that I expect that to happen here in the UK. And indeed, the FCA started to look into this idea of open finance. And so we're going to see some movement there. But the point is this: advisor technology needs to be building the future and not dragging everybody back into the dark ages.